Are you guys ready for your final storyteller? Michael! Michael, get out here! Chug that water. You know how this works. Make sure that you stand close enough so they can hear you. You got this.
I taught APUSH at an all-girls school. APUSH stands for Advanced Placement United States History. And I would tell my students, my class is the most important class, and you should put all your effort into my class because it has the greatest benefit. You see, if you sit for the AP in early May and you score a 5, which is the highest, or even a 4, you will get 6 hours of credit for U.S. history college credit at most colleges. And the great state of Texas, in its infinite wisdom, has just legislated that all public colleges, UT, A&M, U of H, have to accept a 3 for credit. So one day this girl comes to me, and it's a few weeks before the test, and she says, "Mr. Horn, I'm really worried about my essays." And I just looked at her. This is my top student, one of my top students of all times. This is the kid who I read her essays out as exemplars of beautiful writing. And I just looked at her. I said, "Okay, here's what we're going to do, Jane. You're going to do the multiple choice first. That's worth 50%. And then you're going to look at the 3 essays, and you're going to pick the 2 essays that you really like, and you're going to write them. And on the 3rd essay, you're going to write, 'Dear reader,'" reader is what we call the grader, "'Dear reader, I already have a 5. I'm not writing this essay. My sincere apologies, Jane.'" Well, Jane's eyes just bug out. And it's at that point that the principal comes out of her office. You see, I would have my meetings with my girls right outside the principal's office. She had this church pew, and someone used my classroom during 8th period. So the principal comes out of her office and she says, "Jane, Mr. Horn is joking. Of course you're going to do all your essays." And she walks off. And I said, "I'm not joking." I said, "Jane, I would bet $10,000, and I'm not a gambling man, I would bet $10,000 that you could make a 5 and skip an essay. You're that good." Well, of course, she does all 3 essays, right? Well, the story goes down in APUSH lore. And many years later, it's early May, and I'm at my desk in the morning, and this kid rushes in. She goes, "Mr. Horn, I did it." I'm like, "You did what?" She goes, "I did what you told us to do." I said, "What are you talking about? What did I tell you to do?" She goes, "I didn't do the essay." And I look at her, and I think to myself, I wasn't talking to you. I said, have you discussed this with your parents?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "What did they say?" "They said it was interesting." And I thought, yeah, I'm sure that's the word they're going to use in the meeting with the principal and me. Well, the kid pulls a 5. And that's pretty amazing because I would have given her like a $10 scratch off, but now, I really think, and as I teach girls, I said, "Girls, what I'm discussing is what I call boy risk. And I think boys are wired for this risk. We're wired for huge risk, 0 benefit. It's sometimes known by its technical term, stupid shit. Boys do stupid shit, and they'll introduce it sometimes by saying, "Watch this, hold my beer," right? That's the introduction. But the moral of this story really is, I think we have to push girls to take more risks, not stupid risks, but more risks. And I'm not saying I did it right, but and boys need to do more cost-benefit analysis. So let me end by telling you, I would not have taken that risk. When I was in high school, I just wasn't that smart on the one hand, and on the other hand, I'm actually risk averse. I'm on that spectrum of boy risk. I'm not high up on there, but I get it. I really do, because there really is a benefit. It's a huge benefit. The benefit is when you walk into school the next year and you go to your friend and go, "Hey, how'd you do on APUSH? A 5? Yeah, me too. Hey, you didn't do all the essays, did you?" Thank you.
Keep it going for Michael.